Yeah. See the potential, instant, influential, maybe controversial, maybe in another life it's mental, maybe in this one sentimental, no, not accidental, whoa, but you come back tenfold, go, like dripping in gold, be 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 gold. Gold bar standards, that's the best thing, hold your standards, that's the best thing. Gold bar standards, that's the best thing. Hold your standards, that's the best thing. When we step through, that's gold. Anything we touch, it turns gold. Far too much, don't worry about nothing. Far too much, better let that go. Yeah, when we step through, touch road. Anything we touch, it turns gold. Far too much, the MC life, but far too much, better let that go. Gold bar standards, that's the best thing. Hold your standards, that's the best thing. Bar standards, that's the best thing. Hold your standards, that's the best thing. Okay, listen now. Shiny, expensive. List goes on extensive. That energy is dead, it's defensive. Them little weak flows, nah, not effective. Gold plated, it's protected, manifested. Well respected, eyes like jewels. How can we test it? Nah, we didn't do it like the rest did. Nah. Gold bar standards, that's the best thing. Hold your standards, that's the best thing. Gold bar standards, that's the best thing. Hold your standards, that's the best thing.
Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody, wherever you are in the world. I'm Nathan Gary, your host today for the Cycling Esports UK Championships for 2026. Last year was our first year. This is the second year running the Cycling Esports UK Championships with Leadout Esports. Now, this is all about founding the desire to showcase UK athletes in cycling esports. That's what this is all about. It started with a man named Dean Cunningham as well as his team at Restart. They've been putting on a ton of events, and last year they were excited to say, look, that we don't have something going down in the UK to bring us all together for a championship, so they put it on last year, and now we are into our second year running. We're extremely excited to be putting this on today for you, and I do have the man himself, Dean Cunningham, as well as my partner in crime when it comes to all things commentating esports, Mr. Dave Toll. Dean, it's good to see you in your pain cave in very far north Scotland, from what I hear, and wondering if it's cold there, if it's colder there than it is here. Dean, welcome, man. How's it going?
Thanks for having me, Nathan. It's still cold, but I'm hoping it's going to warm up in the next few days and I can get out on that thing behind me instead of being stuck in here.
Dean, I wanted you on at the beginning here. We only got a little bit of time before the ladies are going to be taken off. We got a little bit of pre-show to go through, but I wanted to give you a chance because some people might be wondering, what is Cycling Esports UK? You're only in, I think, your first year, really, if we go from last year to now, of running this. And so far, we've seen championships only, but I have a feeling from what I saw in that Zwift Insider article that you wrote, it's about more than just a yearly championship.
Yeah, it totally is. It feels like we've just had nothing in the UK for so long. So Cycling Esports UK, it's more than just being a unofficial governing body. I'm trying to create a community with it. Try to get a kind of foundation there that can lead us on to having bigger participation in the sport, as well as having talent identification, which I think is a big part of what we need to be using esports for in general, is identifying talents and giving them a potential pathway through to professional sport, whether that's just in cycling esports or potentially pathways onto racing on the road. So yeah, it's about creating a community from that, and this is just kind of the foundational points of doing that. And a national championships kind of seems to be the quick fire way of establishing it and having an annual race. But going forward, we do hope to have more things like regional racing and kind of inter-country racing. So like Scotland, England, Wales, Northern Ireland having their own kind of national championships within, and then all accumulating towards this kind of national championships that happens kind of around about this time of year each year. So there's bigger plans for it, but we need to get a bit of momentum and a foundation of people behind it before we can push on to do these bigger things with it.
Absolutely love it, Dean. Really great. Well, Dean, the ladies are going to take off pretty soon. We got a little bit to go through for the course, as well as what happened last year and some things that are new for this year. But Dean, good luck out there today. I know that you're participating as well, and thanks so much for all the hard work that you've been putting into this.
Nice one. Thanks, guys. Always a good race. The women will be a good race. So, and I'll see you and start line the men's one as well.
Yeah, we'll see you after as well and at the start line. Sounds good, Dean. Well, Dave, always great to chat with Dean, and he's putting in so much work. I mean, the reality of the times at which I'm chatting with Dean to get things done is definitely interesting, and whether or not it's healthy is a whole nother point of view of how much work we're putting in.
Always that time zone difference makes it even more challenging, I'm sure. But I got to say, there's a small group of folks, you and Dean are right in the middle of that are going to take esports into the future. And honestly, I can say that I've had my skepticism, but I feel like a bright future is to be looked forward to. You guys are really starting to figure some things out using technology. And not only the broadcast, which has been improving, time and time again, we talk about the fact that the broadcast is an important element of this, highlight the riders, and everything that Dean is saying about esports has many different pillars that you can look to. The development part of it, the opportunity part of it, the mom part of it. There's so many great things about esports, and I would love to see things like Dean's talking about, a 7 Nations Cup of esports.
It'd be so cool. That would be great. It really would. That'd be really cool. That would be cool. Real quickly, I want to talk to. We're going to get going here real quick, Dave. Sorry to interrupt you, but the last year, I just want to highlight this real quick. This is the second year running. Whenever we're doing a national championship, we do like to highlight what happened in years past. Last year's winner for the women was Maria Holdcroft. I think not taking the start line this year, so it does open up some opportunity actually for the runners up that we saw, or some new talent coming on in. Also new for this year, Masters categories. So the way this is going to work is that the winners will be determined by the first across the finish line after 12 laps on a scratch lace. The overall championship for the podium will be first, second, and third that cross the line first. From there, then we start awarding the first each group as they come through after those first 3 for the Masters, as it is a mass start out there. So that's what's happening out there today. For the course profile, as the ladies are just about to jump out on course, we are on Dutchy Estate. Very hard course. We're going to be doing 12 laps of this. This is what it looks like on a single lap. But if we go ahead and take a quick look at what 12 laps looks like, 36 kilometers, 480 meters of climbing. Going to be a big day, Dave. That's for sure.
It really looks different when you extend it out over 12 laps, doesn't it? It's amazing how hard this day is going to be. I expect our winner will be alone. Well, actually, I was going to say alone, Nathan. It might be a 2-rider finale that we have, but it's going to be every woman for herself out there. I'm looking forward to see. She is Wattage Cottage certified, talking about Victoria Reed. But Charlotte Colclough comes in top of the table, I think. This 40-49 women's group, it's entirely possible our top 3 riders in the overall aggregate come out of that 40-49 field. That's the strongest bunching of riders that we have. We're starting everybody together here. It's going to be interesting to see how just over the first couple of laps, how things hold together.
Yeah, it will be interesting. I mean, it is a very punchy course. I mean, even on each lap, Dave, there is the reality of how much climbing there is per lap itself, right? I mean, if you're getting 480 out of 12, you've got a lot to work with there. And I think every lap is going to be an opportunity to break things apart for these riders. So I think that they're going to be looking to take those opportunities as much as they possibly can. At least I would, knowing the reality of the kind of talent that's showing up out here today.
Yeah, completely agree. Rachel Brown, I see Rachel's name popping up, the world-class duathlete in our field. She'll be a rider to watch also in that 40-49 field. So Leah Cuthbertson, Nathan, is one of the riders that we should be giving a shout out to here as well. Big part of this community. So this course really looks to me almost like what a world championship course should be.
Yeah,
to tell you
that's
the
true,
truth.
right? Like the
It
amount
has
of
all those elements.
yeah, that's true. With the rolling nature of it, it's got a punchiness to it as well. Each lap does provide an opportunity coming on through. It looks like they're kind of watching each other just a little bit here. Heart rates, though, immediately right from the get-go, kind of heading upwards. As Charlotte Coh already up into this 77% of her battery there, as you can see, 239 watts, 4.4 watts per kilogram. Now, Coh here, I believe the runner-up from last year. So she's definitely going to have some motivation out there today, I think, in order to try and take this down. You know, being somebody who did take that second place, you know, a lot of times riders who have, you know, it was right there kind of a situation, and now having the opportunity without one of the strongest riders in the world of esports showing up out here today with Maria Holcroft absent, that's going to be a big opportunity for her.
Completely agree. You know, I would say one thing. If I'm any of the women in this field right now, I would look around and say, as long as I'm in the group that Charlotte Coh is in the first 4 laps, I'm going to just turn my brain off about worrying, to tell you the truth, and just try to ride a comfortable pace and tempo and get through the first third of the race that way. And Charlotte Coh is not really on the gas at this point. I do see Alex Coh's name popping up. It's going to be a rider to watch today.
Alex Coh, definitely. Now, we do see one rider already off the back a little bit here, so that's going to be interesting to see how that ends up playing out here. But as we do swap on over to Coh, we'll see if we can get some information on what is the rider comparison between a lot of these riders, because Coh here, definitely somebody to be watching out for.
You know, Nathan, I would say if you wanted to look for the rider that has the biggest upside today in the 50-plus group, now Alex Coh, she could win this race outright. Look at her numbers, 4.45 watts per kilo over the 20-minute power. That is comparable. That actually puts her third on the overall table. It's actually Charlotte Coh, no surprise, at 4.78, Nathan, that has the best 20-minute power, and nearly identical to that is Victoria Reed. But right behind them is Alex Coh on a good day, maybe catching those two looking at each other a little bit. You know, every now and then get 2 dogs fighting for a bone, and the third one comes and takes it. That might be Alex Coh today. Certainly going to keep a close eye on her.
Yeah, definitely. Coh, definitely going to be somebody. I mean, they've got, and you know, one thing that I noticed as I was going through all of the riders here between the men and the women is how incredibly close they are in their abilities as well. I mean, there's definitely a reality that these riders are, there's just a lot of parity between them, especially amongst the age group riders. I noticed that there was not a whole lot of difference between them when it comes to their watts per kilogram. So, you know, I think this is going to make for a really good race within the race. We've got riders here that are specifically here for the championship. That's for sure. But we, you know, the reality between these riders that there isn't a whole lot between them when it comes to what kind of powers that they can be putting down.
Yeah, this UK championship, now you're going to see Scotland, England, Wales all represented. I saw Australia pop up, and I was taking a look at the rules, Nathan. If you have 10 years, I believe it's 10, of living in the UK, you and hold a passport that's appropriate there, it's okay to be racing out of it obviously is. That's Emma Todd that I'm talking about there. Emma Todd is the only rider, though, that isn't representing Wales, Scotland, or England as their current nation, we should say.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. It was a question that did come up, I think, a little bit between the riders, which I think is really cool, actually, that riders are able to still represent their country if they're off and afar. And Emma Todd is one of those riders that I believe she is in Australia, but a UK national, so she is able to jump in with us. And one of the stronger riders here that we've seen in and amongst the racers often, actually. Heather Shanks now making her way to the front, making a little bit of a push, actually. So is Heather trying to make something happen from the get-go here? We'll have to wait and see if there's any kind of moves here coming in from Shanks as we come across and take a look here. I think we've got some live cameras with Shanks, actually, as well, as she's pressing on.
You know, Nathan, we've been doing this for a while now. I mean, there's really a history that you talk about 10 years of esports racing. Great to see Heather looking comfortable right now as she looks well within herself. Great sign there from Shanks. But Nathan, after 10 years, it still amazes me that you can go find Heather's smiling face there. Good job, Heather. And check in with her, and she's racing with other riders. It is still globally, as we mentioned, that Emma is in Australia, but this still blows my mind that we can do this. So shout out to Zwift at the end of the day. Pretty amazing technology here. There's Leah Cuthbertson right up on the front. She's another one of our wild cards that certainly be keeping an eye on. Starting to pick up the tempo, maybe just a bit, just a smidge, though, as it's 12 laps. Over 450, and make it almost 500 meters of climbing. I mean, it is a monster day. It really is. There's no way that this doesn't whittle down significantly between laps 8 and 10. I don't know how long these ladies are willing to ride at this pace if you're some of the monsters out here like Alison Kerr, Rachel Brown, Victoria Reed. I'm really excited to see what Victoria Reed can do in this UK championship, Nathan. And there's certainly, we talked about Leah earlier. She's a rider that's done all of her work, and she wields a 20-kilogram sledgehammer when she goes after it.
Yeah, I like that 20 kilograms. Absolutely love it.
Speaking of Australia, that's a big sledgehammer. Yeah,
I gotta say, speaking of Australia, for like all this gives you an idea of the global reality of how this entire community is so invested in each other. Matt from Sisu, who has some riders that are in here actually that ride out of the UK, has just jumped into my DM saying, watching from Australia, it's 5 a.m. Let's go for the UK championships. Obviously cheering on any athletes that he has from Sisu, looking to try and grab and take that championship, that jersey home to that team. And like, let's speak about that a little bit too. There's this reality of like, there's teams that definitely want that representation to have that national championship out there in the community. I mean, it's a spot of pride, not just for the individual, but for the entirety of this community and the teams that are out there.
Matt is one of my all-time favorite human beings, Nathan. So, it's very nice to hear from him. This community remains so strong, and I completely agree. That's one of the benefits of being on Sisu is you've got a global fan base always looking out for you and cheering for you. Here we go. A little bit of a surge here right now, Nathan. This is going to be Emma Todd jumping up on the wheel. Good for her. Very, very attentive right now. Leah Cuthbertson going to flex, the Scottish rider.
Yeah, Cuthbertson actually making a pretty good little move here. Rachel Brown up over the top here with that Wahoo kit on and the Tron. Victoria Reed now making the cover, as you can see. Cuthbertson now with a little bit of struggle there, it looks like, as not able to hold that wheel for a second. Brown now coming over the top. Brown, it looks like, with plenty left in the tank, though. Doing a really good job of hanging on.
I'm not surprised. I've seen that. I follow her on the social media platforms, and she's been actively competing out there. She's never not fit. That isn't quite a real sentence, is it? But she's definitely one of those. She's one of those people, though, that just takes life. I don't know if I'd say seriously is not the word, but she is really, really constant and in her athletic endeavors. She never seems to let it slide like some folks might. It's a good rider to watch and key off of out here for sure. Peloton still together. This makes me happy to see the depth of our UK championship, to tell you the truth, Nathan. That's it's very encouraging. Charlotte Kolkoff isn't just riding away on lap one, going Tadej Pogačar on this thing. She's going to have to be selective in her efforts out here. And I think she's very aware. You know, Nathan, Victoria Reed, for me, I really am excited to see what she can do here. As I said, she's Wattage Cottage certified. When you look at those numbers, they're virtually identical in 20-minute power. They're virtually identical across the board, to tell you the truth. She and Charlotte, I should say. Victoria and Charlotte, I'm comparing.
Yeah, we can go ahead and bring that up, actually. Let's go ahead and take a
use
quick
our technology
look here. And we can go ahead and bring a couple of the riders on through. And
don't
see
just take
who
Dave's
got
word
here.
for it.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. I mean, if we go ahead and add her in here, you can see. Now, this is what I was talking about. This is the 40 to 49. That's not actually the age group 50. Let's go ahead and bring in the whole 40 and 49. So this is the whole 40 and 49 group, as you can see here. And when we look at their actual power profiles, though, they definitely have a very interesting power profile when it comes across them. So you were talking about Charlotte Coh versus the Victoria Reed situation. And this is the situation here that you were talking about. 9.1, 9.6, 7.3. We do see a 1 minute advantage there, just a little bit. As you were saying, though, Victoria Reed definitely right there on the edge. We're looking at a ZFTP, though. Now look at that FTP at the 266. Victoria's got more of the diesel engine, whereas Coh might be able to take her out on the punchy parts of the Duchy Estate, perhaps.
Yeah, good. I mean, exactly. That's good analysis. It's going to come down to heart, isn't it? Remember the saying, Nathan, fitness is like a building with no windows. Can't see inside someone. And it's going to come down to that kind of grinta out here today. And that's what we're looking for, battle royale like that. And, I mean, don't forget about the Rachel Browns today. Or, as we mentioned, Alison Coh in the 50-plus group. And she's certainly a favorite out of that group. But it'd be exciting to see what she can do in the overall. Split happening now.
Yeah, a little bit of a split. Now, this is interesting. We were talking about the different teams that were showing up here. Look at this. Now, I've got to give a shout out here to Synergy. Talking about DMs, I got so many messages from the Synergy team, and they were so happy about the reality of what we are putting on here, and they called in all the troops out there today. And look at that, the way that they're working together. And you know that Ryan Granger is in there here right now, DSing them. I mean, he is the DS of DS as far as motivation goes. He is the motivational speakers of DSing, this guy. And I have no doubt that he was like, all right, get it together here. The three of you, somebody go back, pick them up. And, you know, when you got somebody in your ear like that, it can make all the difference to give that little bit of extra, to hang on, to make the moves. And that might set somebody up for a good kick. You know, you might not have the FTP of the Cuthbertson, of the Coh or the Reeds here. But if you got a team behind you that can show up and bring you to the line, Dave, how many of these times have we seen it in cycling where that reality upsets the apple cart?
Oh, that motivational factor it's so hard to quantify it, but man, it is one of the foundational pillars of team success. And Synergy nails it. They really do. So, I mean, you could feel that moment there about a minute ago when they came back. I mean, you could feel them being urged on. And that's what you really are looking for when time and time again, you hear athletes talking about what keeps them coming back is that morale boost that you get from the other riders on your team. And if you have a director that really gets it, that's just icing on top of the cake.
Yeah, 100%. It's so true. And absolutely love that. That's a team that I really, really enjoy to see out there, and the way that they, the way Synergy that they work, they're just so awesome. And the fact that you could feel it through the screen, that like you could tell that they were kind of being directed. I mean, that says it all, right? Like about how much they're able to work together and make this happen. So very, very cool.
Victoria Reed, Nathan, she's going to be a rider that the Scottish rider, this would be such a huge result for her. The quality of this field, there's enough depth here that it makes the win feel that much better. And same thing for Charlotte Coh, that she doesn't just ride away with this one, that it's going to be truly a battle royale when this is done and dusted. Our winner is going to have gone through the ringer out here. So let's go ahead. You know, Dooley continues to roll through up to the front here. She's also in our 50-plus group. That's Emma Dooley, representing England. The other, Tammy Lewis-Jones, Nathan, the Welsh rider. She's from Wales, obviously. 4.4 watts per kilo, which is super comparable. 4.45 for Alison Coh. So Tammy Lewis-Jones, I'm underlining, and then double underlining her name. I think we're going to be hearing from her. Those numbers are comparable to what you see with the top riders just outright in this race. Again, numbers aren't everything in this sport. They're a good indicator, but certainly the motivation of being in a UK championship it brings out the best in some riders. And I mean, it's interesting how the psychology of racing works. Some riders pin on a number, get in a race situation, it seems to weigh them down. Other riders, it seems to be like a sail, and they pick up speed when they're racing. And now we're looking at a group that is just trying to figure each other out, I think, at this point. We've got a long, long way to go. But we're already talking about the first third of this race complete now. It's still big peloton that we're looking at here.
Yeah, all together here. Let's take a quick look at how things are playing out behind. They have calmed down a little bit, but we do have Jay Gilbert here now off the back, 4.0 watts per kilogram, trying to get back on terms with the front of the race. Jackie Gilbert, nice little push here from her. Is she going to be able to do it is going to be the big question. I think she made, on this downhill, resting up a little bit, 3 seconds. Yeah. But here's the thing, they're about to take a turn again, right up into, I mean, the reality of this course, right? I mean, there is just the reality of this course and how incredibly difficult it is. Taking a look at it here real quickly. I mean, this is going to be a tough one to bring back, as you can see the sharp punch each and every lap.
I still think, I'm going to reiterate that this should be a world championship course. It really is just perfect for that because of that sharp punch that you're talking about. It's not once, and you know, there's a decent range of riders they can get up at once or twice. The 10th, 11th time, you meet a whole new kind of animal.
Yeah, and the punchiness of the course over and over and over again does definitely start to play a role in that, doesn't it? I mean, there's just the sting that starts to come into the legs because of that reality. And now taking a look at the back here with Gilbert, she is really trying to get back on terms. But now at the front, we can see it's going to be Rachel Brown pushing, as it is Victoria Reid now coming over to the top of that. You had said Reid was somebody to be watching out for, coming out of Scotland here, really making the push now. And now Shanks here up and out of the saddle as well, as we do see the pressure is on, not wanting anybody to get back on terms.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well blow this thing up because there's not going to be any port in a storm for any of these riders. You're going to be looking at a lot of 3-rider groups if they want to push this hard again. Victoria Reid sees a strong Christy Heber-Smith, though, covering. Emma Dooley keeping her nose up in the wind as well. I think that reality check for Victoria Reid there, these women are strong. And you're not just going to be able to push them around out here on Douchy Estates today. We're looking at 36 kilometers of racing here, and it's going to come down to a tactical slugfest, no doubt about it. Look how locked in these ladies are here. It's a little bit different than what you see from 4 normal pain caves.
Yeah, and you can see Reid there. That's the upper right, actually, Victoria Reid. I like it that she's kind of our dark horse, and she's in a dark room. Like, she set it up just right.
Kind of scary, right? Like,
absolutely love that. And this is great to see, actually, as Reid now looks to try and cover the move by Charlotte Colclough now. It looks like she might be able to do so. It's 354 watts, though. This is quite the move here from Colclough. Yeah, because we're not even halfway through. You think she's just trying to make the split happen here? What's going on, Dave?
Yeah, I absolutely do. I think that this is just a little bit of a Charlotte's got good legs, and she's going to make these ladies hurt and earn this one here. And I have a feeling that she did split a few riders off. It looks like maybe 3 or 4 riders coming out of that group. We're going to be down to less than 10 in our front group here. But Colclough, not pushing all of her chips into the middle of the table, but just, I think, saying, let's get some separation here. This isn't really a decisive moment in the race as much as it's the attrition that you'd expect to see on a course like this. That was really, honestly, an attritional moment right there. You just didn't make a selection if you're not in this front group of 8 now.
Yeah, it's a good call, actually.
Believe me, I've been on the wrong side of these selections my entire racing career. So I can tell you exactly how that works, right? I mean, it's just like they went hard for 30 seconds, and only 7 other riders were able to respond to what Charlotte Colclough was doing there.
Vidler just getting on terms. I'm loving what I'm seeing here from Vidler. This is someone I had my eyes on here at the beginning of this race. Frankie Vidler. And this is a name I don't know a whole lot about, which actually is what caught my eye about Frankie Vidler. Was I felt like maybe this was somebody who's trying to make her debut in and amongst some of the top level riders here. Really cool to see her showing up with us out here today. We get a quick look at this rider and her profile. It's going to be an interesting one, I think, here as, Vidler here definitely has a solid rider profile. 9.4 for that 15 seconds. So she's right there with some of the top talent. Look at that 1 minute. 1 minute's not bad. The 20 minutes. Is this a rider who's kind of running under the radar with us a little bit here, Dave, perhaps?
I think so. That 15-second power, that might be the highest that we have with any rider in that front group. That's Frankie Vidler we're looking at now. She's also, Nathan, so did Leah Cuthbertson make this front group? She did, didn't she? So that's two riders from the 30-39 field, Frankie Vidler and Leah Cuthbertson.
Let's take a quick look at them here, just so everybody knows. Now, Leah, I think, is in it for the overall win, but maybe Frankie is too, right? Like, that could be a situation. I mean, looking at their ZFTP, Vidler's right up there, 5.2 for 5 minutes. I mean, she's got a pretty serious, there is a big gap on that ZFTP, but the 5 minute and the 1 minute might really be what matters here, rather. So what's Leah's 15-second power here? Yeah, that's a good question. We can bring that in here in just a second. We'll get that up and we'll be able to see exactly, because this is something I definitely want to make a comparison on when it comes to Cuthbertson, Kolkloff, Vidler. I mean, these are the kind of names that we're talking about when it comes to this overall championship now. And Vidler's starting to be a part of that conversation, the BL13 rider, in my opinion. Allison Kerr is not in this group. 8 seconds back. That tells me that we're not done. This group should grow. Emma Dooley going to come across as well. I'm wondering what's going on back there. But 8 seconds is enough that I think Allison Kerr will rejoin this front group. She's the big name that's getting caught out right now for me, Nathan. The 50-plus rider, but she's certainly one of the stronger women here, talking about Kerr. You were chatting a little bit here about what is the situation between these riders. Yeah, they're coming back. They're actually bringing this back. Really? 7 seconds. Kerr's working hard, actually. You're right. She's getting some help, though. I have a feeling that Lewis Jones also recognizes that the bike race is going up the road. These women are not working hard enough. See how they're fanning out right now? They're not working hard enough to hold off these two. Although, could be wrong. Been wrong before. That's a bike race right there, though, for sure. That 10 seconds, it is going out to 11 seconds now. So that front group is maybe a little bit deceptive. They're working harder than it looks, as this is the group that's chasing here. Yeah, 12 seconds. We see 3.4, 3.9. Tammy Jones there. Allison Kerr. Dooley is there as well from Synergy. We've got 3 different teams represented. Interesting. Now, is there going to be some team stuff going on here too, where like, hey, don't bring them back? I don't know. I get the feeling that they just want to bring anything back. Okay, is there a chance, Nathan? So 50 plus. So that's Kerr. Who else is with Kerr right now? Dave, good shout, actually, Dave. Right. Nicely done, because that's exactly what we're literally looking at here. Dave, they're doing their own race. That's what we're looking at. If we bring this on here and show if we're able to show these riders real quick, Dave, this actually is the 50 plus. Dooley, Kerr, Jones. That's what we're looking at right here. We do have 3 others that have not made that group though. I believe Gilbert is not up front. I don't believe Helen Taylor Carter someone was just joining them, Nathan, right as we went to this cutaway. And there you go. Who it was? Is it a Synergy teammate that joined? Yeah, Hodgson. Hodgson is here now. There you go. It's Dooley, Jones, Hodgson. Nina Hodgson is the rider, Nathan, that you just picked up on. Yeah. So England, she's representing. So, okay. She's in the 40 plus, I should note, though. Yeah, she's 40 to 49. Right. Yeah, she's the 40 to 49. But if we get a quick little idea here of what's happening between these specific riders and, what is their ability levels is going to be my question between them, because this is for the 50 plus. They're off the back now at this point. What can they make happen still between them is going to be a big question. It's 26 seconds up the road. The front group's kind of calmed down at this point. They've established themselves from what I'm seeing here. There's 8 riders up the road. We've got 4 now on the chase here at this point, but they're just going to start racing each other because I don't think anybody in the 50 plus is up ahead from what I'm seeing at this point. So this is the race for the 50 plus.
Completely agreed with that, Nathan. And for them, letting a little bit of a buffer, because if you were the 50-plus rider that chased back the 40-plus group, then you were the one that took the bait. And you probably made a tactical blunder that most likely would cost you the UK championship for 50-plus. So none of these right. So these women are all experienced enough. They know what they're doing. They understand how this drill works. And so we can leave that alone for a second, because I think that's why when we saw it go down to 7-8 seconds, all of those women realized at the same time, I don't see any reason why I'm bringing this back. So here's the front group again. Now this is going, so 2 of our 30-39 riders, Frankie and Leah, right? Or did Carol Granville make this group? I don't believe she did, Nathan. So I'm just looking at that 30-39 group.
No,
2
she
riders
did not.
here.
No, she did not make this. Yeah, definitely not.
Okay,
no.
Great. Well, I mean, I'd love to see her chase back. But right now, we can say that it's going to be Vidler and Cuthbertson battling for the 30-39 and still that opportunity to win the outright race here. And that is what, when I talk about outright, Nathan, I'm just grouping everybody together regardless of their age, and it's just the first woman over the line. And I was saying how that could be Alison Kerr. That's really probably not likely anymore, because the 50-plus women have slid into their own battle just a few seconds behind, but they're locking in with our top 3 there. Then it's really this 40-49 group making up the Lionesses' share of what we're looking at. Riders like Heather Shanks from Scotland is in this group. Emma Todd racing out of Australia, but I believe that she's English. Rachel Brown still here, downtown. I think Rachel Brown, Nathan, for me, is the rider that we would have the familiarity bias with. She's been doing this for as long as I have. I definitely have been a fan of hers for more than 5 years now. Talking about Rachel Brown.
Yeah, and the reason why we know is the Ryman. That's why. As Rachel Brown looks to close things down here. Victoria Reed now making the cover real quickly. Heather Shanks as well, following closely. Shanks, I got to say, is playing a really smart race. It looks like to me she seems calm. She seems collected. She seems well within herself at this point. I really get the sense that Heather Shanks has shown up with a lot in the tank out here today, and she's playing her cards well. This is going to be interesting. Now, the one thing I definitely want to go back to this Vidler conversation, though, just for a moment, because my question is, Frankie Vidler just this dark horse who's sitting on the back here, not doing a whole lot of anything? She's got, it looks like, one of the fastest bikes in game. Now, bikes are neutralized, but it does tell you perhaps how much she rides.
But she takes it seriously, though, the fact that she's been in the garage enough to get this bike. Right, yeah. You're right. It's neutralized, but she cares about equipment, which just shows me a level of attention.
Yeah, and this is something we didn't get to hone in on because things started going a little wild for a little bit, right? Say. But I mean, if we look at the power profiles with some of these, top athletes between all of them, I mean, this is no joke. She matches up really well. She's
not only right there. Yeah, she's across the different metrics. She's one of the top athletes in this front group. No doubt about it. You'd be extremely unwise to sleep on Frankie Vidler here. So good catch on all of that. To me, though, Charlotte Colclough comes in as the favorite, the gold star favorite, to tell you the truth. The amount of international experience that she has, this will really pay off in the last 3 laps today. There's no doubt about it. If you're going to beat Charlotte Colclough, you better
It's that
come
5
with your
minute
A game.
too. It really is that 5 minute, isn't it? That 5.6.
Yeah,
it's just a level
100%.
above alongside that 1 minute 7.3. I don't think anyone can really match that. And I think that's why everyone's kind of watching her moves out here, because she is the one that's going to have to dictate the race, though, if she wants to make something happen. As we speak about that, though, Emma Todd says, look, let's make a move. It's early morning where I'm at, and I need to get a move on for the day, because, you know, although she is a UK national, she is in Australia just waking up, and it looks like she's eating her Wheaties. What are they eating in Australia? Do they have the Wheaties that she's in? But now as she presses on here,
I was going to say Weetabix or muesli or something, and then, but probably Vegemite on toast.
There
would
you
be good
go.
for her.
Vegemite
Right.
on toast. I like it. Rachel Brown over the top in the Wahoo kit, as you can see. 2.3 watts per kilogram as she makes her way up and over the top here now, as it looks like Todd here starting to recover a little bit, bring that battery back up to 100% as she can. And Brown, though, is the rider
pretty
who
crazy.
took over for a moment.
We're at this point in the race, and that the battery has become much more relevant or informative than previous attempts at the battery by various other powers that be. This battery, though, it shows you how quickly sitting on a group you can recharge, which is really what we were looking for from that battery, rather than conflicting, confusing information. We love the new battery reader, right? It's truly impressive. Shout out Alejandro, I think, as well, right, on battery technology improvements.
Yeah, 100% Alejandro on the first go at it. He did an amazing job, and absolutely love what we have developed with him across the board, actually. Shout out to him on everything. Cuthbertson here now. She was third place, I believe, last year, Leah. So I think she's going to be one to be watching out for here today to try and better that and take the win.
You mentioned it was Maria Holcroft who won. Was Charlotte second last year?
Yes, I believe it was Charlotte that was second place, followed up by Leah Cuthbertson. I'm going to make sure that I'm not misquoting, though, but I'm almost absolutely positive I got that right as I was looking through everything from last year.
While you're looking at that.
Holdcroft, Colclough, Cuthbertson, Heather Shanks actually for fourth, followed up by Natalie Stevenson. Emma Todd took sixth. Tammy Lewis-Jones, Helen Taylor-Carter, Jacqueline Gilbert, and then Melissa Scriven. That was your top 10, actually, from last year's championship.
All right. Thanks for digging that up, actually. And 3 of the top 4, it sounds like we've got with us here. Because you threw in another name. Was it Heather Shanks that was fourth?
Heather Shanks was fourth last year.
Right.
Yeah. So I think now
she certainly looks like she's at a very high level today. So, I mean, there could be an upset coming out of this group. Hang on, folks, because we're getting down to it. They've been out there now for 35 minutes. This is definitely crunch time. I, for one, am surprised to see this many riders in our front group. I don't know about your thoughts on that, Nathan, but the depth of the field for me is the biggest takeaway from the first 2/3 of this race.
Yeah, it is surprising, actually, and I mean, especially with the nature of this course, Dave, right? Like the nature of this course is one where I would have expected a little bit more separation, but I think they were kind of satisfied with what they did up front. And now it's like, all right, how am I going to win all outright on this course? Because if I risk too much, my race can be over pretty quickly with how punchy this course is. And there's the reality of the rolling nature of this course. You can get fully taken advantage of if you commit too much. So there's that, you know, if we take a quick little look at it, actually, I want to talk about that and the way that riders might be thinking about this. Because the reality of how sharp those downhills are, you have to fully commit over the top, and there's still enough riders in this group that on that downhill, they're going to bring you back, and that kind of sacrifice of your energy out there it might come back to bite you really quickly. So it becomes, if we swap it up to a single lap, look at that. This is what the difference is. 40 meters there, up and over the top, and then on that downhill, that group is just going to rotate through and bring you right back in. Really, the opportunity is at that 2 kilometer mark. That's where it's at.
I mean, obviously, only the riders, Nathan, know how they feel and what they've got left. But I would think somebody let's go. I mean, you could look at it from a lot of different perspectives out here. But I'm going to say Charlotte Kolkloff, looking at her 5-minute power, and for all intents and purposes, 5 minutes is about a lap out here, isn't it? More or less, and attacking at the bottom of that sector, trying to blow that group up so that you don't have a full group chasing you on that downhill section that you were talking about. I mean, I think she's going to believe in herself, and it's really going to be a battle of wills out here, as these ladies are more than holding their own. This ride from Todd stands out. Emma Todd punching above her weight in this group. Victoria Reed remembering, Nathan, that what Victoria Reed can do is really impactful. And sometimes she can blow this race up and maybe not win it, but have a huge impact, or maybe actually go on to win it here as the Scottish rider on the move. Now it's full tilt boogie here as Charlotte Kolkloff is going to respond to that. It's going to be interesting to see, does this split the group here now?
It looks like there's some suffering going on, Hugh. Actually, one of the favorites out here today, Cuthbertson here, off the back a little bit, 2.8 watts per kilogram from Cuthbertson. She looks like she might be suffering just a little bit, perhaps. Can she get back on terms? She's trying to do something here. 181 watts. There might just be nothing left here, and this is a make it or break it moment. It looks like they go into the uphill. The attack before the uphill, Dave, might would have done it here. Leah's suffering. Now we can see it looks like it's going to be Kolkloff now at the back of that, but I think Kolkloff's okay. They do lap a rider here, the BMTR rider. This is going to be, it looks like Hodgson, I think it is. No, Richardson.
So Cuthbertson is actually starting to come back a little bit now. This is just left, right, and center action going on. Reed remaining the locomotive up here on the front. Emma Todd making that group. Cuthbertson only at 6 seconds, though. Heather Shanks, Nathan, looks like her ticket was punched there during that last power surge that we saw. And I don't know that Leah Cuthbertson's going to be able to get back on as well. This nuclear-powered locomotive is rolling up the road. Kolkloff, Brown, Reed, Heber, Smith, and Vidler. Vidler, the rider, is running out of her skin out here. The 30-39 rider is hanging on in this group along with Emma Todd. So Todd, Vidler, Heber, Smith, Reed, Kolkloff, and Brown making this front selection now. And it's even starting to blow up. It's Todd now having to let go. Vidler hanging on. This is a battle royale late in the UK Championship, Nathan. This is the most dynamic minute we've seen of racing.
Heather Shanks now off the back doing everything she can to maybe catch Cuthbertson. It looks like she is going to do so. So this is going to be a situation where the restart riders are going to get together and try and make the chase. But the reality is Herbert Smith, Rachel Brown, Kolkloff, and Todd just said, forget it. Let's go. It's time to make the race. And they've got about 10K left to go. And now off the front, we've got a group with Vidler, Reed, Kolkloff, Todd. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Brown is there as well, and Herbert Smith. That's your 6 here at this point, and Vidler has made it, Dave. This rider who I've never commentated on Vidler before. I'd never, all of a sudden just shows up and, let's win a national championship maybe.
For me, KHS, Kirsty Heber Smith, Nathan. She came in as a complete unknown. We don't have any power information on her. So this is a breakthrough rider. I don't know that she's ever we don't know of her racing at this level before, Nathan. And here she is not only in this front group, but she's been swapping poles with some of the greats out here. So Kirsty Heber Smith, you have arrived. Certainly a very, very impressive performance from her. Rachel Brown, that's not a surprise. Neither is Charlotte Kolkloff. These were two of the prohibitive favorites coming into this race. So they're who you'd expect to see in this group. But Nathan, to underline what you were saying, how about this performance from Frankie Vidler today?
Absolutely love it. Now, good call on Herbert Smith. As we were putting the production together last night, I definitely noticed we literally she's the Greivel. Remember Canadian championships? You're like, who's this Greivel guy? And you ended up taking second or third. I think it was third. I mean, that was a reality of what's going on. And this is what I love about esports is you put the signal out. Hey, we're doing this UK championship. And all of a sudden, bam, people start coming out of the woodwork here. And this is what Dean was talking about. The discovery of talent, Dave, isn't it? And their ability to show what they've got where they can't always do that. The beauty of coming onto the online here. Now look at this, though. This is what I was talking about.
Attacking.
Vidler, Dave, I love it. She's been sitting at the back this entire time, just following move, and now she starts throwing orange numbers at the front.
And I actually think she may have been trying to set up her teammates, or they're just so excited about the racing. And I could see that happening either way. As they're starting to pour it on, that's going to be Reed and Vidler just throwing body blow after body blow, but responding well. So it's going to be Brown and Nicole Clough. We're down to a group of 4, make it 5 riders together off of the front. Just dangling off of the front now is Victoria Reed here. So this has really turned into an exciting finale here for the women. I just want to make sure, Nathan, we've got everybody in this group is in that 40-49 field except for Leah and Frankie. And Leah is not in that group. I apologize. It's just Frankie now. So Nathan, Frankie Vidler is in a unique situation where she's got that 30-39 championship on lock, more or less. Maybe not on lock, but she's in good shape for that 30-39. She gets to gamble, play with the house's money, and go for the outright win with this really stacked field.
Rachel Brown, I think she senses blood in the water. Brown comes up over the top of what the BL13 team just did, gives a little kick, 6 watts per kilogram now. She's putting people in the hurt locker. Vidler, you had just talked about it. The batteries are getting low, Dave. Oh no, Vidler off the back. Can she crawl back? It's right there, literally right in front of her at this point, Dave. It's only 1 second.
Something
Can she hold on?
No, she's coming back. Nathan, she must have had a technical issue there, because you could see her wattage numbers were fantastic when she's coming back into this group. So that was not a biomechanical.
No, I think it was the roll through. She wasn't ready for the roll through, and I think it opened a gap. I mean, her heart rate is 194 though. Her heart rate's 194. I mean, she really worked for that one. Yeah,
she burnt a match, no doubt about that. Sub-ideal situation, but showing she's got heart. And she's still not quite back.
Is Reed controlling for her? Is Reed controlling for her? I think Reed's controlling for her.
Well, look, Rachel Brown to the front now. Rachel Brown is going to show no mercy as she puts her foot on the throat of this group right now. These ladies are not playing around. This is going to be, you'll remember this name, Kirsty Heber-Smith, Nathan. She's definitely arrived. She's in this 4 Riders of the Apocalypse that we're looking at right now here on the front of this race. So that, again, that's going to be Rachel Brown riding for the Wahoo team, one of the most experienced. I would almost guess she's a level 100 Swifter, to tell you the truth. But she's got all the metrics. She's got the talent, the ability, the desire, and the heart. As we take a look at Victoria Reed, Nathan, as she rolls through, again, wattage, cottage, certified. When you talk about Victoria Reed in the spooky setup,
I love it.
Death watts coming at you.
Okay, look at the heart. Look at the heart on this one, though, Dave. She will not stop. I mean, Victoria Reed, but no, sorry, Vidler, though. She is trying. She is really trying. Dave, will she do it? Come on, Frankie. I love it. 189 beats per minute, trying to get back on terms. She's doing 50 kilometers per hour. They're doing 44. She's going to do it. Frankie Vidler makes it back, but this is the reality, Dave. After working so hard, she has to get a moment because they're about to do the kick back up.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what she can do here, bringing her heart rate down. It's like watching a biathlete when they settle in with the air gun, right? It is down to 189, 188. Let's see if she can get it down into the low 170s here. Even better than that, she'd love to see it down into the 160s before the next barrage. And actually, things are going her way right now. It's almost nice for Victoria to set a false tempo for her here.
Look at the difference in heart rate, though.
Just fast enough.
Man, 113, 177.
That's when you were saying, look at the heart rate. I was like, pretty low. She was at 113 when we checked in with Victoria Reed. There's people who wake up in the morning and their fitness tracker tells them they're at 110. You know what I mean? Like, she's calm. Actually, if your fitness tracker tells you 110, you're not doing too well, my friend. But
okay, I also
she's probably looked at like a 38 when she
There's
wakes up.
another situation happening behind here, and this is what Reed does not want to see, is there's riders coming back. We've got behind Todd here with Cuthbertson, and Todd's actually sitting up as Leah and Heather are kind of working together. They brought it back to 10 seconds. It was out to 15 for a moment, but now that front group, I don't think it really is going to matter actually, because that front group is watching each other to make the moves is really what's happening here. Reed now off the front by 1 second. They're not really following. Vidler able to just sit on. The BL13 tactics are so real right now. Seriously. Like, Reed goes, Vidler sits on, Colclough has to chase, Brown's like, what do I do? Herbert Smith, the other dark horse, is in the middle of it all. This is really such a great race.
The best thing that Victoria Reed could do for Frankie Vidler once she was in the wheels, right, was to attack, because now guaranteed she's not going to put her nose in the wind, and she's going to have a better than any of the other three ladies back here of a chance to just sort of rebuild her battery. Victoria Reed right now going to be brought back into the fold. That time it was downtown Rachel Brown resetting the table here for these 5 women who all have a seat to dine here, but they're only serving one outright win. Now, remembering that Frankie Vidler is the only rider in her own category here, the other ladies are all in that 40-49 group, talking about Rachel Brown, Kirsty Heber-Smith, Victoria Reed, and Charlotte Colclough. Cuthbertson at 18 seconds, Emma Todd, Heather Shanks. So I don't know that they'll be making contact again here, Nathan, and watching that number still going out. I think that this right here on your screen is today's ultimate selection.
We got one to go at this point. 31.2,
A little
3, little more than one to go.
Little more than one to go, but not that much. Laps were at 3K each. So, yeah. And now it's getting tactical. These ladies are actually, so yeah, does that Cuthbertson Todd group start coming back if they start playing games like this?
They're not 20 really seconds. Games, are they? I mean, at 20 seconds, little
if they
much.
sit at around 3 watts per kilo, they won't see those ladies again. And they realize that if they go down under 2 watts per kilo, they'll be back up on them in a couple minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's actually 2 to go at this point, 31.7. So I think it's the lead.
They're at 1.5 to go.
1.5, basically. Okay. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. There's the move. Reed now on it. This is it from Reed. Reed wants to make it happen, it looks like now, as she kicks up ahead. It is going to be a quick cover here from Brown. Reed, 6.5 watts per kilogram here coming in from her. Interesting little move here from Reed. Is she going to be able to hold on to this now? Colclough on the chase, as you can see, 7 watts per kilogram there. Colclough is going to be the rider who makes the response.
Knowing Colclough's 5-minute power here, it's not going to be long until she wants to respond with a hammer blow here. It's not quite yet. She's going to let Rachel Brown now actually rolling off of the front. Brown's going to really impressive job by Rachel, showing her depth of fitness once again. And now they're just kind of rolling up and over the top. Kirsty Heber-Smith certainly going to be a part of the conversation as she takes her turn here. Pick a favorite at this point. You know, all of these women have a storyline that tracks to a UK championship today. But only one of them gets to live that dream. Charlotte Colclough, for me, Nathan, we run these ladies to the line 100 times. Colclough wins 40 of them. The other ladies split up the other 60.
Kirsty Heber-Smith, 177 beats.
Reed must be looking at this as a huge opportunity to make an esports moment come true, though, I would think. Victoria Reed, I'm talking about. I think for her, this would have the biggest delta or upside this championship today.
I'd have to agree with that 100%. Yeah, Reed definitely. Vidler and Reed, I think they're the dark horse. Well, Rachel Brown and Colclough, they're the two that you'd expect to be here, right? And the other three, we don't have a whole lot of background on, actually, to know, what might be happening here between them across the finish line.
The lack of data on Kirsty makes her scarier.
Yeah, that's true,
After-
right?
Yeah. Oh, if you're a team director in a car and you have this situation where you're into the finale and there's a rider who's been weathering every storm, now you start to sweat it. Because the unknown is scarier than the known in most cases. Rachel Brown showing the Scotty Squirrel streak going strong here.
We're going to have one to go in just a moment here. They are coming up over the top of lap number 11. Lap number 11 with one to go in just a moment. It's going to be Herbert Smith now making the move on the front, as you can see, trying to make something happen. Rachel Brown grabs onto the wheel there. Victoria Reed, Vidler's still there. Love to see the Vidler situation still, all with it. Now, here we go. Cole Clough now covering moves. The favorite that we said coming into the day. Can she make it happen out here today as we head into our final lap? And behind, off in the distance, we see Cuthbertson, Todd, and Shanks pushing onward.
They're actually coming back a little bit. Like,
I mean, if they really would have to start looking at each other, though, right, Dave? I mean, seriously, the reality to try and bring this back. But, I mean, taking a look at Cuthbertson, she's still working really hard here, Dave. There's definitely some efforts now throwing down.
I've seen crazier things happen, but I still say it's a pretty remote chance. But I'll be honest, I always am pulling for that. To see riders, I mean, that's your worst nightmare, too, when you're up in that front group to all of a sudden see riders rejoining the group, and it shifts the dynamics. And, yeah, it's the heart from Leah is always going to be front and center, that's for sure. But it's not going to happen. I think that these riders, Victoria Reed, I think she's got to be bracing herself here. There's going to be a moment now when Cole Clough lights the fuse, and that's going to be the moment that decides this UK championship, and all of these riders know that. You can feel how the tension just starts to ratchet up, doesn't it, Nathan? You know, every pedal stroke now, you're getting that much closer to that decisive moment. We're down to really one, and there you go. This is it. KHS on the attack. So, all right. Excuse me. That's going to be Victoria Reed attacking over the top, and Victoria Reed's going to play her cards, Nathan. This is a big moment here. It's not the everything moment, but it's certainly going to be a big part of the storyline here for our finale.
Victoria Reed, 5.7 watts per kilogram. Rachel Brown trying to shut it down. It's going to be Cole Clough, Brown, Herbert Smith, and then Vidler still. The BL13 tactics, we talked about it a few times at this point. They're really playing their cards correctly here. I absolutely love what they're doing, but Rachel Brown makes the cover. Cole Clough there as well. Able to come across, it looks like, here at this point. We're going to be down to it here. It's a little under 1K to go, Dave. Oh my gosh, who's going to take this one down?
Boy, Rachel Brown has covered everything that they have thrown at her with aplomb. Incredible ride from Rachel Brown out here today. So that's the Wahoo rider still up on the front. It's going to weld itself back together. Good job by Vidler there for not panicking and allowing Kirsty Heber-Smith, like Kirstie Alley, Nathan, from the Cheers show. Remember that? So Kirsty Heber-Smith, this rider that we're learning so much about her ferocity and her ability. And, I mean, to tell you the truth, pretty amazing to have someone that we haven't heard of before, relatively, or I don't know how many races she's done in her life, but this is the first time that I've had a chance to see her race. And here she is with some big esport names right now, like Rachel Brown. Another rider who deserves that credit is Frankie today. Really impressive Frankie Vidler performance to be in this group. But Nathan, this is it. We're down to it. This is our finale.
Yeah, it is actually going to go out to 37, just so everybody knows. There is the lead in there on the top on the distance. Apologies on that. But now we're going back into the uphill here, and this is going to be it. The final K to go as they head into it. Rachel Brown now, 4.9 watts per kilogram coming from her, trying to maybe put a little bit of suffering in on the riders. Not going to be able to really break it apart, though, it looks like.
It looks like it might be a sprint, which is, I'm stunned. Wouldn't you have thought that Cole Clough would have played the 5-minute power card, Nathan? Or
yeah,
no?
Yeah, 100%. I think like that was that. Well, I don't know. The uphill battle though at the end here, I think it's really important. This last little kick up to the line through the sprint, I think that's what the riders have been thinking about and what they actually have practiced. That's at least that's what I would be thinking about. I would have practiced because it's just a punch.
Heber-Smith. Nathan, we've seen, I'm going to guess you and I have done not hundreds, but thousands of races together. If Kirsty Heber-Smith wins this race outright today, I'll call that the biggest upset that we've ever seen.
Well, here we go. And it might be exactly what you're talking about here, Dave. Rachel Brown makes the first move. As you can see, though, on it now, Rachel Brown, is she going to be able to do this? As she is up and over the top, 8 watts per kilogram here coming from Brown. Brown now, Coldclough, Reed now at this point. It's going to be Heber-Smith trying to hang on, but it's going to be Brown with the lead out. I think this is going to set up Coldclough almost absolutely perfectly here. Reed, though, sitting in. It's these three. It's Vidler's off the back.
I think Reed showed a lot of mental strength there by locking onto that wheel. She's going to save it for one huge effort here. These ladies look to be preparing for a sprint, Nathan. Only one rider gets
Heber-Smith. Coldclough goes a little bit early. It might be a little bit too early because it's going to be around the corner. 7 watts per kilogram. She goes over the top. Yep, that's exactly right. And it might be all about that 1 minute we talked about. Rachel Brown trying to come across, but I think Coldclough, she may be breaking them.
This is big numbers, but Rachel Brown is going to show you what she's all about as she is scraping the bottom of the barrel right now. Rachel Brown trying to close down that gap. She is still within striking distance. Charlotte Coldclough throwing more coal on the fire, but Rachel Brown looks like she might be able to nail this back. If she can just get 5 meters closer, it's going to change everything. This is an absolute battle of will.
Oh, no, Brown, Coldclough, you're right, Dave. It's going to be Reed. No, Reed over the top. Reed perhaps. Brown to the line. Coldclough fades. She's going to take third. Rachel Brown. Woo! Wow. Takes it down. That's the national championship. UK Esports champion. Rachel Brown. Wahoo. BL13 with the setup. And Coldclough from Cryo RDT gonna have to settle for that third place out there. Vidler, what a ride from her. Then there's going to be the ABUS riders here. This was really, really such an amazing battle all around. The kick to the line here from Shanks for a top, somewhere in the top 10.
Okay, so we still have our 50-plus riders to watch for here, Nathan, as this is going to be Vidler wins in the 30-39. Cuthbertson wins second in that group, 30-39. Or should win second in that group. But it's really this Allison Kerr, Tammy Lewis-Jones, Emma Dooley battle. Here's Kerr that we've got squared up. The other rider here is Hodgson, but Hodgson is in the 40-49 group. So good job by her to be there, but she won't be part of this conversation as this is the 50-plus women that we're looking at now. And Nathan, correct me if I'm wrong, but this should be Allison Kerr, Tammy Lewis-Jones, and Emma Dooley.
Yep, 100%. That's exactly right.
There we go. All right, ladies. So they're fighting for their UK championship. Wow. That was really something. I was going to say equal parts panache and experience from Rachel Brown today to win. That was so cool to watch. Tammy Lewis-Jones, another dark, cold pain cave.
Yeah, that's kind of like the theme out here today, isn't it?
Yeah.
These dark, cold pain caves. There's definitely the way that we're seeing this playing out here today. Now, Dave, we're going to watch this. Just so everybody knows, the men, literally, they were right on the hour, the ladies, and you can hear in the background the countdown for the men's start. Yeah, so we're going to jump across there in just a moment, everybody. We definitely want to catch
they want to watch this. Yeah, everybody wants to watch this, no doubt. The women's finale. There's a UK championship about 30 seconds away.
Is Kerr going to be able to make this happen here? This is the 50-plus situation, and she does it. Nicely done. Followed up by Dooley. Jones. Hodgson just behind from the Synergy team. Nicely done for a 12th place overall. Lots of riders still finishing up. It's going to be Mim, Baines, and Gilbert all working together on the Synergy team here. Great to see them battling out with the level rider. The level rider here looking to put the hurt on a little bit. Love to see it.
Yeah, it was great to have a wonderful turnout for this UK Championships as well. On behalf of Dean and Nathan, I'll thank you for racing out here, ladies, and putting on quite a show today.
Absolutely. They've really put on a
win.
show. They put on such a show, actually.
Yeah.
Really, really appreciate them. All of them making the comments out here. Awesome racing, everybody. Great job, ladies. They encourage each other so much, and it's great to see.
It really is. How many times, Nathan, do you think 1 million have I said racers make the race? But the course helped today. Give the shout out to the course. It really was perfect for what we were looking for. I was surprised again to see how many women kept their head above water into that final lap in our front group. And then, it just turned into a battle royale. Exactly what you want racing to be. Exactly what a UK championship. And when you find a worthy winner like Rachel Brown, you're on a good day. That's for sure. But congratulations to all the ladies like this group. They're going to be coming in hot, I think.
Yeah, Shaw. Big kick from Jade.
Yeah.
Jade makes the move here. Will Mim be able to hold him off? It's going to be Shaw. Jade Shaw, I think, may be able to hang on to this. Nice move from her. 9 watts per kilogram.
Wow.
To the line.
Wattage revolution right there.
Mim, Baines, and then Gilbert. Nicely done. That was really, really cool to see that kick to the line at the end there. And always.
Hey, thanks for staying with the ladies too, Nathan. Really appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. We've got to do so, right? I mean, that's what it's all about, is making sure everybody really gets their time in the racing as well. Now we are got a battle now starting right from the get-go. They're about 2K in to the race.
Yeah, no time for a pre-show or anything.
No, nothing. We just got to jump right into it here because Niall Beatty, right from the get-go, he's got 6 seconds. He attacked on the first uphill, and Niall here is just like, let's just make the move.
So, we have a lot to unpack here as we move things over to the men's race. Niall is such an interesting rider. What do you think, Nathan? Is this attack looking for someone to come up and join him? Obviously, we've got the same distance as what the women raced. It'll be a little bit under an hour before this is done and dusted. He's not planning on doing this for an hour, is he?
Well, I think his only hope is to just break away. I really think that's his only hope, and so I think that's the reason why we're seeing this press on right from the get-go here. That's what it's really all about here. So I don't think that, because I think he just, and also Niall's also looking for some TV time, I think too. I think there is that reality here too, because this is such a punchy course that I'm not sure that there's much that he can do about the reality of that pack unless he does something like this.
Niall has, at this point, I'm going to say, you'll know better than I on this one, but at least 3 years of elite racing experience now. He's not new to this.
Oh, he's been around a long time. Long time.
I was going to say elite, like he's been
while
in the A-level racing now for quite a while here. And he knows what his abilities are. And he knows, he understands what riders like Will Loudon are all about as well. Josh Power in this field, Christian Klesi, and group here. Just holding off this group here for a lap is pretty tough to do. To tell you, for elite athletes, it's tough to do.
This is a new rider here that I definitely want to highlight, actually. Jamie Cahill, over the last year, has really come along. We've seen him across all of esports, actually, make his way into the top. And, in the past, I would not have said watch out for Jamie when it comes to, like last year, when it comes to the overall. But now on a course like this, and what I've seen from him, if he can really play his cards right, Jamie is a threat out here today. And the parity in this men's field is very, very high for the overall championship. Now, we were going to see Ed Laverick on the start line, but he had some personal matters happening. So having Ed not show up definitely changes the landscape as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. Everybody has to keep, a rider like Ed Laverick carries so much water in this sport that everybody would have to respond to what he did. So I think it really just opens the racing up, to tell you the truth. Greatly encourages riders like Dean Cunningham there a chance to possibly win a UK championship become more realistic? Look, it's pretty active, isn't it, up here on the front right now? These guys are reshuffling this deck right in front of our eyes here. Good to see more Sisu kits. Sisu might be the dominant team in this peloton, actually.
Yeah, 100%. Looking at this as Elliot Coiler, Josh Power making the moves at the front. Coiler now here at BL13, 7.6 watts per kilogram. Look who's following. Dave, the last time you and I commentated on Will Loudon, he just walked away from everybody in Richmond. Do you remember that? That was a little while ago, but he showed up to like a Z Racing or something and just smoked everybody. Now, like, I'm wondering if Loudon, Zwift Academy, I believe finalist, Will Loudon is somebody here who just can show up, not be doing a whole lot of Zwift racing, and just say, look, I know how this game works. I've been here from early days, and make some moves happen. And these guys don't want it to be sitting around. Already you can see they want this to be a hard race. There's move after move on Dutchy Estate. You got to love to see it.
Yeah, I mean, 36K, make it 37K, I guess we learned. But ultimately, these guys are going out so aggressively. I said it was going to be under an hour. It's going to be a lot under an hour if they're going to keep racing like this. They are. So it's just been attack after attack. To sit on the front of this bike race, you're making 5.5 watts per kilo. And here comes Sari Pritchard, who's going to bring this thing all back together. And as soon as he does, there'll be another attack up and over the top. Don't see him start much more aggressively than this. Niall set a tone.
Yeah, he did. And looking here, Sari Pritchard coming across. We actually did a highlight on him on one of the Zwift broadcasts with Zwift Live, actually, Sari Pritchard. And it was his team with Zed's son that we featured, actually. And Pritchard, he's an old school racer, old professional from back in the 80s and 90s who got back into racing specifically because of Zwift racing, and feels that he's got that, that same motivation he had back then that's got him back into top level shape, actually, which is such a cool story. Comes across. We got a group of 3 now being formed.
I remember that one. It's really enjoyable story there. That's Sari that you're talking about, who's still right here on our screen. His moment in the limelight here right now. The Welsh rider is... I'm wondering, Nathan, how many riders at the back of this group have had enough of this? You have to settle into a different rhythm, because this is crazy.
Yeah, Loudon looking to go across now, as you can see. The speeds have been absolutely insane. These guys are going to finish in like 45 minutes or something, I think. This is going to be just full gas. It looks like Stuart Miller now trying to make some moves as well toward the front. Miller now, I think Miller's going to play this really smart, though. He is definitely a savvy rider. I've seen him plenty, actually. I actually race with Stuart Miller a lot in the SRC races, and he's definitely one of the top riders around that edge of Cat 1, Cat 2. He can win races a lot at that top level as well. So, I think definitely someone who's very savvy, though, about when he makes his efforts. And I get the sense that Miller might be one of those who's just following, whereas the Loudons that we're seeing here, the Coilers, especially Coiler, these guys are a little bit younger as well, I think, too, and I think they're going to be a little bit more like rambunctious to try and make some moves happen here every single lap. How quickly these laps are coming at us, though, Dave. Next thing you know, it's just right on top of us over and over again for this punch up through the Dutchy Estate lap.
Yeah, right now, this feels like like the Tucson shootout, just an incredibly fast group ride. Right? Like just guys coming over the top and another guy coming over the top. And it's kind of what we're looking at right now. I wanted to note, Nathan, that just like in the women's race, we've got 3 different age groups. Actually, let me correct myself. 4 different age groups. That 18 to 29 field, Niall would be in that group. Will Loudon, Ludo Hurst, Elliot Collier, who we've seen up on the front, Josh Power, who you mentioned, and Kieran Meaney. Then we've got our 30-39 group. That was the
Here,
Stuart
one
Miller.
second. Let's go ahead and highlight this really quickly. Let's just do all of them. 18 to 29, as you had said.
Oh, there we go. perfect. Yeah, we kind of missed this because we jumped right into the racing, right? So this is a good look at that 18 to 29 field. I just ran through all of these names, but that gives you a good look at all of those guys. This is the 30-39 field. There's our man, Dean Cunningham, who, along with Nathan, deserves so much credit for helping keeping esports relevant. Ryan Dummer, Craig Harris. There's Ed was a scratch, unfortunately, today. A family issue going on, and we're sending our thoughts to the Lavricks. Richard Wilson, James Charley, Stuart Miller, and Roy Miles. It's the biggest group we have. Actually, the 40-49 are the biggest group that we have, with Nick Basson, Jamie Cahill, Christian Klezi, Joe Muse, Brian Wakeham, Anthony Stellings, Siri Pritchard, who we had been talking about when he was up on the front there, and Daniel Mundell. Those are some of our 40-49 men. Add in our 50-plus guys, Morton Anderson and Chris Poole.
Love to see it. Nice job, everybody, taking the start list and making things happen out here today, as we do. And Elliot Coyler now, this is one of our younger riders in that age group that we were just talking about. Good to see him now also up on the front for a moment. He was making a lot of those moves. Sari Pritchard now closing things down a bunch in that Zed Sun. Now, is this a new Zed Sun kit? This is a new one. I haven't seen this. That's a cool looking red kit. Love the update there as they go flying right on by it. Here, back into those orange numbers. And this is such a punchy race. This is nonstop over and over again. You almost can't even keep track of it, how quickly this is happening.
Yeah, it's chaos out there without any question. I mean, I guess really, if you're racing in this event, Nathan, just trying to keep yourself in the front third of this field right now might be the name of the game, to tell you the truth. You don't want to drift too far back. Probably don't want to find yourself completely on the front either, because there's going to be so much racing where you're going to have to, it's going to get gritty out here in the last few laps. So every watt that you can save right now, not having to close down these gaps. So staying attentive but not overdoing it. I guess that's really what Zwiftcraft is all about.
Yeah, 100%.
Isn't it? I mean,
it really is. Yeah, it really is.
Don't burn unnecessary watts would be one of the first rules.
We're talking a lot about our man Coyer here. Josh Power now looking to make some moves at the front, it looks like now, as he comes through the pack. Looking pretty comfortable. Maybe not so comfortable, as you see him. We're sitting about position 7, position 10, going backwards pretty quickly. I think Niall Beatty now off the back, trying to just hang on now at this point. As you can see, this is what I was talking about. This is why he made those early moves. Just barely able to hang on, though, it looks like Niall. Able to just grab onto the wheel. We'll see if Niall can make this happen. Nicely done. 186 beats per minute, but I think he's really suffering to make this happen.
Yeah, getting back into the slipstream is critical, and he's done that. So it's the small victories out here, that's for sure. And going back up to the front, boy, Dean Cunningham having a strong ride here, as he's definitely staying where you want to be. Like I was saying, the sweet spot, it is barely a peloton. It's a ragtag group that you're looking at out here now. That's certainly not a peloton, is it?
No, the attacks have been absolutely manic from the get-go, and they have split this so quickly, Dave. I wanted to highlight all of the riders here, and it's just been absolutely insane, so insane from the get-go that we've just dropped half the freaking field from the get-go here. I mean, this has been crazy.
If this were in real life racing, you would hear so much yelling back and forth, guys at each other. Manic, Nathan, is the perfect word to describe what it would be like to be in this group. There's just really not much rhyme nor reason, but you are burning a lot of watts. You can see everybody. I mean, you'd really never go under 5 watts per kilo out here, just trying to continually close down these gaps. So, yeah, what kind of bike is that Sisu rider on here, just rejoining the group?
Pool here? K-Pool? Let's take a look here.
No, his teammate, just about 4 riders up in the group. There you go.
Oh, on the new Specialized on the left-hand
There it
side
is.
there. Yeah, that's
A lot
the
of riders on
Specialized
that.
Halo bike. And it's actually, it's one of the most prestigious bikes actually in game. It's got...
You've made a huge drop commitment to the Specialized brand.
I mean, not just everything
Yeah.
commitment. It takes a lot to get that thing. So yeah, it's definitely a huge amount of riding. So that's definitely a
Actually,
thing.
is that the most expensive bike that you could have?
In
on
like,
Swift?
I would say it's the most expensive. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the most
right.
expensive bike across the board. Really, I mean, in a lot of different ways. So we do see Koyo here now.
Yeah, they're
Nice little move
neutralized.
from him. Yes, everything's
Someone-
neutralized. Yeah, good call. Good call.
Well, I
This
knew
is,
someone would tell me. Yeah,
This is interesting, Dave. This rider is really making some moves out here. And to be honest, Elliot, I'm not the BL13 rider. He's not someone I've seen a lot, right? Like we haven't commentated on him a lot. This is again one of those coming out for the Nationals. And I'm liking what I'm seeing from him actually over and over again on the attack, and they've settled down, and he's settling in. This is interesting. I like what I'm seeing from Elliot.
there's almost no way that Elliot Collier is not at university right now. Everything about that building that he's
True.
in,
Yeah.
he tells me.
Yeah. I
Look
like
at these
it.
doors and look at the wooden door behind the feather there. That's got university building written all over it to me. Although the bicycle artwork is interesting, that's for sure. But good was someone who's prepared. He's got a tight setup there. Very professional.
Well, he's up the road, and it was Meany who is making the move to try and bring this back.
8 seconds up the road.
7
right now.
watts per kilogram. He's matching them loud into the front. And I thought someone was going to jump across. I thought that right here, this was going to be the moment where we would see a rider say, enough is enough, need to jump across, but no one making that move just yet.
So this is where I don't know Elliot Collier well enough to be able to really make this statement, but right about now is when you start having buyer's regret on a breakaway like this, because you were hoping
that
somebody
would come
was-
across.
right, exactly.
I mean, his heart rate's still 189, Dave. He is pushing himself to hold this gap. I mean, this is an all-in move. And, I mean, are these guys going to start
2 or 3
ramping up
other
the
people?
roller coaster or what? Where's the move? Now, Ludo Hurst, though. Hurst, love to see it. We saw Ludo the other week actually go in the Zwift games. It was him versus Najal, actually, off the front in New York. And I'm liking what I'm seeing from Hurst now as he starts to make the move, emptying the battery a little bit, saying enough is enough. We've got to make something happen here. He's got a little bit of coaching going on in the background. I like what I'm seeing here from. Look at Hurst. This guy is here to show up and win. I like what I'm seeing from him. Yeah, he's got a little bit of like support going on there next to him. Hurst here. Watch out for this man.
Crazy mirror. This guy's in a mansion. It looks like.
Mirror. What's going on with the mirror?
Nobody else has mirrors like that in this sport. So if I were
Well,
these
that's the
guys,
secret sauce is the mirror, Dave.
Yeah.
That's what's going on here.
I tell you what, Nathan, if I'm Sari Pritchard or Will Loudon, Josh Power, Ludo Hirst, I would say, so I would be not intimidated, but respecting Elliot enough that I would say, let's go ahead and let him sit out there for a couple laps because we got to burn a little fuel off that rocket ship. The last thing I want to do is bring him right back and then let him sit in the wheels for 8 laps and then go find yourself in this scenario at 1 to go.
Sari Pritchard,
I
I
would
think,
let him
thinks
cook.
it's enough of a danger that he is just willing to press off the front here.
Siri is one of the most aggressive racers, isn't he, Nathan?
He's a TT specialist,
he makes
too.
the race.
He just
Right,
wants to
yeah.
use that power. That's really what's going on with him. Now we can see Jamie Cahill looking to come across. They see the danger, perhaps, as well as the roll-through opportunity. Uses the speed that came from the chase on him, and Cahill now right up and over the top. Big kick from him. Looking to close down that 5 seconds. This is how quickly things can change out on course, Dave.
Yeah, it really shows you that, well said, Nathan, is when they get motivated, they can shut down an 8-second gap in less than a kilometer, and that's exactly what's happened now. Is that's going to be the Sisu rider, Richard Wilson, rolling up to the front of the group, and Sisu's actually putting some real resources into this chase, and more riders are starting to help, and that's going to split this group down to, is that even a dozen riders now in what you'd call Chase 1? Because, well, actually Chase 1 becomes the front group in the next couple seconds. Here's Elliott, should be brought back into the fold.
There he is, just in the distance there. Now,
Right.
will there be, now that was a lot of fireworks, Dave. Will there be some sort of follow-up with that? And it is Sisu. Sisu makes her way immediately to the front and counters. It's going to be Hurst, though, actually, not Sisu. Hurst on the push now.
It looks like Poole wants to get up onto that wheel, and the counterattack it had to come there. There are so many reasons why, and this is going to be it. Ludo Hirst now, the man on the front, and this is going to be interesting because he now finds himself in the Elliot Collier situation, doesn't he? Pretty quickly here, dangling off of the front. I don't think that we are coming up on the midway point distance-wise, 12 laps on this 3-kilometer circuit. So we're not quite to the middle point of this race, but we're getting close. This is where the breakaways start to become a little more interesting. I think that's what Ludo Hirst is sniffing out right now. He's got to be looking for someone to come with him, though. This is not a one-man job.
Yeah, I mean, Hurst, I like the counter, though. The patience on that counter was really, really good, actually. The way that he waited until this perfect moment. This is something he likes to do. I've seen this before, been watching this from Hurst.
Yeah, the execution, Nathan, was good, too. He got the gap immediately. We didn't play around. He's taking it out to 7 seconds. If this goes out to 15 seconds here over the course of this next lap, this becomes really interesting. And that's the direction it's going. He's doing some hard work right now on the front. You're going to see the numbers from the chase remain about 1 watt per kilo on average below what he's doing here. Looks like he's going for the Morton.
Yeah, taking on a little bit of fuel. Always like to see what the riders do when it comes to their fueling. Taking the sweat, obviously he's going to get a little hot in there. I hope he's got some fans, dude. I'm not seeing a whole lot of fans going on there besides the one who's sitting next to him. She's got to get like a fan in her hand here. Like, let's go to try and cool him off, it looks like. But nice little break. He's got 5 seconds over. Now, Elliott, though, says, look, I don't like what I'm seeing. Time to make a move. He now goes and makes this move.
Interesting. So Elliot's like, where were you 2 minutes ago, Ludo, when I was there? We could have done some cool things together. And I'm going to give you a second chance, Ludo. I'm going to come up and join you in this breakaway. We could have done this a little more gracefully, to tell you the truth. But I think that Collier, I think I'm pretty much nailing it. It's going to be these two in a breakaway, but they wasted a few watts attacking each other.
10 seconds back. Sari Pritchard, Morton Anderson, Dean
so
Cunningham.
At this point, does Ludo want Nathan to?
Yes. Oh, 100%. Wouldn't you think so? Or
yeah,
maybe,
but how much do you soft pedal for a moment to let him join you and start working together? I think actually in this case, knowing the motivation that Collier has, it wouldn't hurt to just for maybe a couple 100 meters soft pedal, let him get a couple seconds back on you quickly, and then all of a sudden you're working together again. He's got enough of a gap here. Well, looks like Mundell, Loudon, and Miller are starting to lead a chase here as they don't want to play around too much with both Hurst and Collier together in a 2-rider breakaway. They are burning through this course today. It's going to be sub 50 minutes of racing out here for these guys. Boy, Collier now, if you don't bridge up and start working in the breakaway and go back to the peloton, that's a second burnt match, Nathan.
That's true. That's true. 17 seconds, though, Dave. But Ludo has now created distance here even more so.
No, Elliott is in maybe... Remember, I was talking about poor Elliott. He's going through the ringer with me, but I was talking about Breyer's remorse earlier. This time he has found the definition of no man's land.
Right? Look at in the background here. You can just see off in the distance as they head into this uphill again. Ludo's really emptied the battery, that's for sure. 196 beats per minute here.
But
full commitment
he committed
here from Ludo.
consistently, though. He sat right at 5.5 to 6 watts per kilo this entire time. So this is not a madman that we're looking at talking about Ludo here. There's a method to what he's doing. Not going to guarantee it's going to pay off, but he right now, the most important number is he's got 15 seconds on the peloton. Heart goes out to Elliott here because he's racing with so much spirit. He's just not catching a break. Maybe go back to the peloton though and wait for one more act here because there's still plenty of racing. Plenty of racing remaining now. That's why for Ludo Harris to hold them off, Nathan, it's going to be a rugged ride. Regulators are mounting up back here behind him now. And they're locking it down at about 15, 16 seconds. I don't think do you think they give much more leash than this?
I mean, if it goes out to 20,
Ludo starts to fade a little bit.
I think if it
now.
goes out to 20, they start getting worried. But do they start saying? I mean, it was such a hard start to the race. They might start thinking there's not a lot left in my legs, right? Like, I mean, there's the reality of Miller in here still and Loudon in here still. I think those two still have a lot left. The question is, who's been
They're
sitting?
playing the long
Cahill.
Yeah, I mean, but those names you just mentioned, they're all playing the long game, Nathan. They're not worried at all looking at an 18-second advantage to a solo rider. If it were 3 or 4 riders as strong as Ludo, maybe a different situation. But right now I think that they believe that there's enough power in the peloton to regulate. And they're starting now to turn it around here. Starting to see bigger numbers coming out of the chase. You know, all you really need is Sari Pritchard to take a good pull, and you can cut that down by half.
Yeah, and already, I mean, it's this roller coaster each time through. They are able to bring back. Now, the question here, it will, if they keep playing with this 15 to 20 seconds, if Ludo's got something left in the tank, I do think that he can kind of hold on to 5 seconds or like 2 seconds right at the line if they keep playing with this. But at a certain point, I think they're going to start getting some good roll throughs and say enough is enough. Let's bring this back. Now, Kohler here now. Yeah, you're right. Now, Elliott is about to make contact. He is about to make contact.
I honestly think too little too late at this point, though, because they're starting to bring this back. It's down to 15. And my thought here is that the peloton has played their cards pretty well. They've let 2 of the real danger men today. There's no doubt that Collier and Hurst could win this race if the situation was right for them. That's what makes bike racing so complicated. And right now, those guys are unfortunately going to find out that the peloton played their cards right. I mean, look at this. Dean Cunningham now is jumping out of that group, actually. The Scottish rider going mental, chicken oriental here as Dean Cunningham is coming rapidly now. So the peloton's going to look to reset things here, and they're going to have plenty of real estate left to do this, Nathan.
Yeah, 11 seconds is all it is now. They can see Coiler. They're just letting them dangle, aren't they, Dave? Like, I really, like, I thought, no, this is not, they're not going to be able to bring it back that easily, but there's just the reality of this pack. Now, if it starts whittling down, though, right? Like, if this pack whittles down and there's not as much firepower in it and they keep on doing these little punches and it eventually starts getting rid of riders, that might make it a little bit more difficult. The catch is being made here, it looks like, pretty quickly of Coiler at least. I do want to highlight a rider here, Christian Kleese. We saw him in the Discord. He was chatting about supporting verified racing. I know this is a rider from some of the lower categories, a good B category rider out on Zwift, jumping into the deep end. Great job by Christian showing up and being a part of what's happening out here today, and really appreciate that as he's
cool guy.
Yeah, super cool guy. One of our 40 to 49 riders coming out of Scotland.
Yeah, right on. Shout out to Christian for sure. Thanks for noting that, Nathan. All right. Well, I think just as Elliott joins the front group, the peloton's going to shut it down. It looks like
Ludo's here.
I
thought they might do it, Dave. Yeah. I was like, man, I'm always one of those. Now, do they get a little motivated right now because of they get together right here? They're almost caught, but not quite. The pack looks at each other, and now Coiler over the top. I like it. I mean,
Collier
this
has
is
to attack him just out of character. Like that. I don't think that these guys were destined to ride in a breakaway to the finish today, but please prove me wrong, gentlemen. You know, I mean, Nathan, you're right. Just when you think it's over, every now and then the spark catches a little bit of wind and the fire is back, and who knows? If Elliot Collier could pull that off, I would be so stoked for him. And he's doing exactly that. I mean, it had come down to around 5 seconds. It's starting to go back out. Collier and Hurst now are together. This is the first, or are they? I mean, it
Hurst just went over the
like
top. Hurst just went over the top.
these two
of
are
him.
like repelling each other, aren't they? Like they just cannot.
Now
close.
they're starting to work together. Now they're going over the top. Yeah. Boom, boom. We're seeing little bits like now. 55 kilometers per hour.
When they start working together, then I start thinking they have a chance, and that might be now. Let's see if Ludo.
They're going faster than the main group. I mean, 51, 52. We're in with Stuart Miller here. It's getting dark over in Scotland.
But doing that efficiently, you can't afford to lose efficiencies at this point if you're going to ride in the breakaway. And let's see what they can do. Because you're right, 7 seconds is what they're holding on to now, and it does look like they've started to share the load, relaying each other, Ludo Hurst and Elliot Collier. I tell you, I mean, and we're down to, let's call it 4 laps of racing, 12K or so to go, slightly more than that. But, Nathan, they're going to make it interesting. They are actually doing what I was saying I couldn't believe would happen. They're starting to ride away with it again, talking about Collier and Hurst. This is really impressive. A lot of heart from these two.
You see that green kit? I got to give it a shout out. I've been guest riding with these guys a little bit. A lot actually in the TTT. I ride with Stuart a lot actually, and love to see that in real life. You see that RW? I believe that's got to be the same kit, the Riding Without Borders kit there that he's got on with Stuart. It's really good to see as they make their way around on course. They got them in sight now. You can see them just over that hump. Now we get the other camera view. Elliott sitting in. Hurst now 5.3. They're not giving up the ghost though. Even when they're right there, he's still pushing 5.5. Look at Ludo. Look at his face. Oh, you can see it. The effort, the desire, but not necessarily going to happen.
Cool. I mean, what's amazing, is how long these guys can dangle out the front. I think Ludo might have said no mas at this point. Well, no, he's still making big watts. So, I mean, pretty amazing, actually, what these guys have done. But the real lesson here, Nathan, is how hard it is to hold off the peloton when it's got this kind of depth and strength. The reality is 1 or 2 men are going to have to be like Hercules to hold these guys off.
I think Pritchard. I think Pritchard is really wanting this one. You know, if I look back at the results, Thomas Perrin was last year's winner of this one. And we actually that's one of our scenes we didn't show because we had to jump into this so quickly. And the difference is if you've just jumped in with us, this is the UK Cycling Esports UK Championships out here today. Last year for the men, it was Thomas Perrin who took it down. We're in the second year for 2025. It was him. But the man we're looking at on screen right now, he was second place for last year's championships. And I think he's looking for this year. Definitely somebody who's extremely committed to esports. And I think it would be everything that he's wanted since starting to get into this whole world of cycling esports to try and take this down.
Boy, there's a lot of riders that have a really cool storyline to be here in this front group. I mean, I like Josh, to tell you the truth. I think he's such an exciting rider. It's always good to see.
Oh, yeah, like Josh Power, he has been around for so long. And definitely one of the top riders.
4 Sisus in this group. Let's see if they can use that to their advantage, Nathan.
Yeah, speaking of
Thanks for finding
Sisu, I mean
Josh
they're all in a Discord together. I got a message actually showing me Chris Poole, Sierra Meany, Craig Harris, Richard Wilson, Joe Muse, all hanging out in a Discord together currently, chatting away about how they can bring this down. I mean, that's 5 riders, and how many of them have made the front group?
I think it's 4, but
All right.
and I must say that the esprit de corps on Sisu is unlike anything that you see in any sport out there. Sisu just such an incredible group. I always recommend people, if you're looking for a team or an organization to be a part of, if you're out there in esports and feeling a little lonely, well, Sisu is a group that's been so welcoming through the years.
Daniel Mundell. This is another rider to be watching out for. Definitely someone that I've raced with plenty as well. Seen him in the top levels. Cat 2, another one who races amongst that crew with Cahill. I mean, a lot of these guys really know each other. Mundell and crew, like Josh Power, they race each other week in and week out at the highest levels. And very consistent rider. Always top 5, top 10. Mundell. He plays his cards right. Be on the watch out for him for a podium. But they all got to bring back our man.
Elliott,
they got to bring him back, right? Like, that's the truth.
Boy, and I definitely, if Elliott, look at this, 15 seconds that Elliott Collier has. And I don't know that they're taking him as seriously as they should right now. We're going to start. I mean, we're down to 10K of racing remaining here. Here's Elliott right now on our screen, the BL13 rider. Boy, he hasn't done it in a conventional sense in any way. This sort of reminds me of that. I might have brought it up in a recent broadcast. The old crazy beat strong every now and then, right? There's an element of that today. Well, there's an element of both, to tell you the truth. Elliott Collier, maybe not racing with the conventional style, but he is showing unbelievable strength and heart. That's for sure. Taking a look at his numbers here, certainly respectable across the table here.
What he's really taking advantage of is that 20-minute. That's what he's really, that 5.4.
He's not looking to play the 15-second card. You're right.
No, not at all. Not one bit. Now let's take a look at a couple of other favorites. I mean, last year's second place, if we bring him in, 5.5, 6.3. Elliott does not look at the 15. That's why. It's the 15-second, Dave. He needs to make this happen, because if we bring in these riders, right, we start bringing in
look at that.
The likes of 16 watts per kilogram. Some of these riders who are sitting in here, they've got a lot to work with, right? So, I mean, we'll bring Stewart's not quite as much of a kick, but I mean, look at Josh Power, dude. Is that a 16.7 watts per kilogram? You bring him to the line. Now, it is an uphill battle to get into the sprint, but if you can hang on, I mean, let's take a few of these off of here. Series doesn't necessarily have the kick, but this is why Elliott's pressing. He does not want to bring 16 watts per kilogram to the line. Here we go with Mundell. But really, it's these two, I think, are the danger men. I'm trying to see who else might have something to challenge.
I'm going to give Elliott a ton of credit to playing to his strengths and betting on himself here, though. I mean, when you look at these numbers, what else would you do if you're him? His best chances to win are exactly what he's doing. So
yeah,
credit where it's due.
100%. Very, very true. Very true.
So what he's doing isn't necessarily logical. It's far from easy, but so he has, I mean, it doesn't even matter what the number is, Nathan, but let's just say he has a 1 in 15, 1 in 20 chance of winning from here. I mean, that's probably being generous, actually. But that being said, it's certainly better than the 1 in 10,000 he has if he waits for a sprint with those guys.
Yeah, true.
Right?
True. Yeah, that's very true. Chris Poole's another rider I'm wondering about. This is our 50-plus man hanging out and amongst this crew. So good for Chris, man. He's made this group.
Chris Poole is riding in that front group.
Is that right? Is he in there?
So when you look at his numbers, Nathan, it's not really a surprise. Is Morton Anderson in that group?
That's what I was wondering too, is if Morton was actually up and amongst this crew.
He is. Morton's leading the chase.
No.
Morton
What?
is leading the chase.
He is here.
So
What is
yes.
going on? What a ride
So these
from
two
Morton as well. I absolutely love it.
So the 250-year-olds are both in the chase 1 right now.
And this is going to be, because they're hanging in here, this is your battle for 50 plus. When we take a look at
How
it.
close they are.
Look at
It's
that.
like this couldn't be better. The 20-minute power is a minute advantage for Anderson. The 15-second is a minute advantage for Poole.
So good.
Chris, that's perfect.
Yeah. They're in
kinda
this
like,
group over here that we're looking at now. Power now makes his way to the front. I like what I'm seeing from Josh. A little bit of a push on from him, as we were just talking about Josh. And
Gap at 17, though, Nathan. 17 seconds.
I think that's why,
with
because
less
Josh
than
wants a
7K.
sprint, right? Josh, maybe not a full-on sprint, but he wants a reduced field sprint, I think, right? Like,
Yes. Well, a few guys do. Jamie Cahill does as well. They want to be in the group that sprints for the win. Maybe is the best way to put it, because it's already a reduced group sprint at this point, and they're going to split this group with this chase. So we've reached the point now where the impact that Elliot Collier has had on this race is significant. His breakaway is going to split the chase at a minimum now, because some of the guys realize we're going to have to go harder than this if we want to catch him at this point. And it's starting to come down, and this is the big shift, isn't it, Nathan, that happens at this point in the race. This is exactly the moment when you enter the Thunderdome.
this tells you how long it's been since Will's been in a race. Look, this is not even close to what, like, we don't even get to know, because it's been so long since Will's been in a race. But everything he does on Zwift is FTP or VO2. He doesn't do anything else because it's been so long. He
hasn't sprinted. Right.
Yeah. He just goes and goes hard because it's for a workout. That's why. I wonder what his kick might be, because we don't have a 90-day on him for it. So interesting from Will here. No pins rider now. And 13 seconds. They're bringing it back here, Dave. But Coiler, he's not giving up the ghost.
I would not, after what we've seen from this guy, the third different breakaway he's been in. The last time he was in a move, it came down to a couple of seconds, but didn't get caught, and then he rode away again. Guy is all heart. There is no question. He gets our rider of the day, in the men's race, at least. Elliott, very impressive, and the gap is starting to go back out. We're looking at what point, Nathan, have they run out of real estate here?
They're going to have 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go, Dave. They need to start doing something. They need to move their, like, this might be over.
I'm not quite panicking yet.
I don't know, man. I would be panicking. I would be panicking. I would be freaking out.
And he's still pouring
my gosh.
on coal to this fire. He's raging now. Elliot Collier's pushed it out to 16 seconds at 5K to go, folks. Tough 5K. Tough road to hoe. There's no question about that. There's a strong group behind him with these monsters. But if these monsters can't organize themselves a little bit better, it's now out to 18 seconds. They're giving him a little more leash and taking it, making it, just pushing it to the edge, closer and closer. And this group is not yet chasing. It's going to hit 20 seconds now. I'm pulling for Elliott at this point.
I think Elliott's done it. I think this is over. They're racing for second. With the way that they're racing. I'm not going to
jinx the poor guy. This kid has shown so much heart today. And Nathan, this is the thing, remembering, look at the numbers he's still putting up, Nathan. He's not done yet. I mean, he's got a lot of fight in him here. Okay, I'm not going to say that he's going to win just to give him a chance to win.
Here comes the kicks, though. Here comes the kicks. Now the reality starts to kick in. They're pressing on, and at the back it's going to be Dean Cunningham trying to hang on to this one.
They led it to 21, Nathan. So, yeah, that might be the high water mark. Because here comes Meany.
That's it. The moment that you can drink, it's over. 21. Time to bring it back now at this point. Oh, my goodness. Power now to the front. 6.5 watts per kilogram, knowing somebody's got to do something. 7.5 from Coiler now at this point. There are only 4K to go. 4K to go. Will they continue to make the work happen here, or are they just going to race for second?
This is bananas. Elliot Collier is not giving back anything. He's taking more. Body blow after body blow being thrown by Collier here. Nathan, wow, this is how you make your name into a legend in esports. Elliot Collier, human wattage cottage on the front. Peloton playing such a dangerous game. It's only down to 19 seconds. Every meter that goes by, I believe in Elliot more and more. Keep it going, EC.
Oh, man, Coiler trying so desperately to make this happen. He's pushing on 7 watts per kilogram. Coiler absolutely buried himself. 196 beats per minute, but the orange numbers are at the front. Now at the 21. I think Coiler's gone. He's not coming back at this point.
I wonder, Nathan, at what point does he start to fold? Because it's not yet. I mean, he's blown this out. It's gone to 23 seconds. Nathan, at some point here, it becomes his bike race. It's his race to lose now. At this moment here, it has become at 3K of racing with 26 seconds. Elliot Collier, I think you cracked the code and certainly put together. Boy, this turned into one memorable UK championship. How could you not be pulling for Elliot now?
Elliot in your upper right here, Stuart Miller on the left. You can see Jamie Cahill in the bottom left and Dean Cunningham on the bottom right. Ludo Hurst was making some moves.
How much does Ludo wish he'd stayed? How much does Ludo wish he'd stayed in that wheel?
Yeah, there's Ludo taking it easy now at this point though, because it's the curtains for him. Sari Pritchard now to the front, but it's 32 seconds, and I think everybody can see it's game over.
Even his coach wandered off. That's a tough sign for Ludo.
They know they're racing for second now at this point. It's game over.
Yeah.
And so now at this point with 1 lap to go, they are all going to start attacking each other.
Power.
Actually, there goes Power, 10 watts per kilogram. Big kick here from Power. Nice move. Power now up and out of the saddle, as you can see here. This is an everything move here at this point here coming from Josh Power.
Is this to win second or win the race?
I think this is for second. I think he can see that the race is up the
Pretty
road
much.
at this point, and it's like, well, it's second or nothing
Bringing
now.
back half a minute, 2K. See, what that would require is that Elliot Collier drop down into the sub 3 watts per kilo. He's actually still strong. Elliot Collier, they won't see him again today.
Power's got 2 seconds. This is quite the move here from Josh Power. I think that he is most likely gonna get caught though, but I like the effort now. This is, knowing what he's got to do to try and motivate.
To be shocked that they're racing for second like this. I mean, Elliot Collier, really, that's a command performance.
100%. Really well done here from Coiler. As
I
definitely a new talent. Definitely a new talent that we're going to be watching out for. And
he was in 3 different breakaways out here, too. He made that first move where he got 10 seconds and then came back. And then he was up there kind of going back and forth with Ludo. And then the final definitive move, which he took out to – I thought when it started coming down from 21 seconds, I still didn't think he'd get caught, but I thought they'd bring it down to maybe 5 seconds at the line. Well, it's gone out to 32 seconds now. One heck of a ride today. You don't see many like that, actually.
They're making one last kick here, it looks like, as he's going to look to try and take this one down. Up and over the top of the 1.7 or so to go to the line. And hopefully we've got everything right. It might be a little less than that, actually, 37. But we're going to make it to the line here.
I think that's right.
Is that right?
I believe that we... Yeah, I feel pretty strongly that they changed it somehow to that 37.7 was accurate, because it was definitely over 37.
Big kicks here behind as we look to finish up. They're going to finish up in just over 50 minutes here now. Amazing job from Coiler. We've got the big kicks behind. I think Daniel Mundell trying to make something happen as he's trying to break everybody behind here at this point. But we will, as you can see, the orange numbers popping behind, trying to make it to that second place. But Coiler is going to take this down. Elliot Coiler for first place. Cross the line. The youth are going to get the better of Wisdom out here today. That was trying to play it smart, but it wasn't going to be. Stuart Miller, though.
Yeah, what a win here. This is certainly, I'll look forward to a lot more from Elliot Collier, Nathan. You might be seeing him in some Sunday Race Club action, I would think.
Big kick to line here coming from Stuart Miller, trying to take down that second place, but it's going to be Daniel Mundell. Mundell now up at the top. No, is it going to be Miller? Miller for second. Second place goes to Miller. It looks like what a kick to the line. Stuart Miller able to take that down. Nicely done from Stuart to cross the line. It's going to be Mundell, followed up by Ciaran Meaney for fourth. Jamie Kilhood, Siri Pritchard, Will Loudon, then Chris Poole, and Josh Power. After so many efforts out here today. What a race. Absolutely insane racing all around. And our man, though, who took it down out here today, there he is at the university, as you had said, Dave. What a move. The thumbs up in the background here. Who is this kid? Elliot Coiler, that's what I want to know. Comes out of the woodwork to take it down.
Yeah, I won't forget that one, Elliot. You certainly proved me wrong as well. Great ride today. So Ciaran Meaney ending up in fourth, Daniel Mundell for third, and Stuart Miller in second. That was out of a bunch sprint. Elliot had 25 seconds when they finished, Nathan. 25 seconds in hand. That's a lifetime in esports for a solo breakaway.
Flying out there today. Absolutely insane. What we just saw.
Rachel Brown, Elliot Collier, congratulations to our freshly minted UK champions. There's Elliot on top of the podium there. Stuart Miller certainly showed a lot of spirit in that sprint as he just gets the better of Daniel Mundell there to round out our men's podium. Again, Ciaran Meaney in fourth with Jamie Cahill fifth and Siri Pritchard in sixth today. A little bit deeper, Will Loudon in seventh with Chris Poole eighth. Josh Power finds the top 10 in ninth. And then our man, Dean Cunningham. And thanks for all you do, Dean. Dean, 10th with Morten Andersen. He'll win. Actually, I want to double check that because was Chris Poole? No, Chris Poole
we
was
might
going to take the win.
I think Chris did take that for the 50 plus, didn't he?
Right. Chris eighth there, but 50 plus winner is Morten Andersen will be second in that 50 plus group. There you go. Thanks, Nathan, for that breakout from our overall.
Yeah, we can
results.
actually look at these. Yeah, let me see if it removed them. And it did. Nicely done. I love it. We removed them. So this is your age group results then with the top three taken out. Ciaran Meaney followed up by Will Loudon and Josh Power. So age groupers for the 18 to 29. Followed up by 30 to 39. Dean Cunningham will take that down. Nice job, Dean.
Nice,
followed
Dean.
up by Craig Harris and then Roy Miles. That's your podium for that 30 to 39. And then 40 to 49, Jamie Cahill, followed up by Siri Pritchard. Christian Cleese, I'm not sure he crossed the line yet. He'd have to battle pretty hard. We only got our first two across the line so far. So that's why that is not updated just yet. What a battle, Dave. Like, seriously, this was some really, really good racing. I'm going to see if I can actually bring in our women, though, real quickly here, as we definitely want to highlight them in their results. It was Rachel Brown, followed up by Victoria Reed, and then Charlotte Kolkloff. Really great job. Man, Kolkloff, she tried really to make the move at the end there, Dave. Unable, though, to hold on. It was that last-ditch effort that just couldn't quite make it. Then when we do look at our age categories, let's see if we can. I'm not sure we had any across the line there for the 18-29. It was going to be Frankie Vidler, followed by Leah Cuthbertson. And then in for the 30-39. 40 to 49, we've got Kirsty Hibber-Smith, followed up by Heather Shanks, and then Emma Todd. And then our 50-plus was extremely a hard battle out there. And it was going to be Allison Kerr that was able to take that one down. We're going to see if we can get a reload on this and get the full standings, but that was what we had at that moment as they came on through. Dave, good stuff, man. Talk about exciting racing.
Both. Yeah, different races, that's for sure, but both equally exciting. Thrilling. Well worth everybody's time to get invested, and nice to see the racers that supported this event, as you and Dean did a tremendous job putting this together, and it paid off. Great racing. That's really the ultimate reward, no doubt. And for all those people who enjoyed watching, and certainly if you were racing out there today, you've got to feel good about your efforts. Win, lose, or draw, you walk away better for those kind of events.
Real quickly, I do want to highlight here, we did get the results to come all the way through. It was
winning is better, though.
It is definitely. Age group 40 to 49. Kirsty Herbert-Smith does take that down, followed up by Heather Shanks and then Emma Todd for your top three. It was Newt Hodson, Jade Shaw, and Liz Richardson. Thank you so much to everybody who showed up on the day, and really great to see all of the riders out there. Liz, we did see you finish out there, and we really appreciate you jumping in with us. The 50, look at this 50 plus age group. It's so great to see them showing up out here today. And the battle at that Helen Taylor Carter, the Karen Baines, the Jackie Gilbert, we saw that battle at the end there for that top four. And then Allison Kerr, though, able to grab it there in that sprint that we saw at the end. So great to see.
Yeah, that's what esports is all about. No question that we had a really good chance today to see spirited racing, people getting the most out of themselves. That old steel sharpened steel applies, as we're all better off for this level of competition. So
100%. Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
See if, I'm not sure we're going to have Dean back in. I was going to see if we can have a quick chat with him, but I have a feeling that he's going to be cooling down.
He's probably wiped out.
I think
yeah,
he's pretty done. Everybody, all the results are provisional. We will have performance verification. That's one thing over at leadoutesports.com. We real quickly, just to shout out to what we were doing with UK Esport, but this is a movement we're trying to do across the entirety of the globe with esports, to be the home for cycling esports, to really be able to support all the organizers, the federations, as well as the athletes, to put on the best races we possibly can, fully verified, to create a real sport. So we had Canadian Nationals, we were supporting SWE, we had a Prestige over the fall as well with the elite racing, and then obviously now we have the UK Esports championships that we just put on. So be on the watch out for more to come. We are looking to put on some general population leagues as well that will be coming pretty quickly, as we are finishing up our federation support for the winter, the Northern Hemisphere winter, and we head into the Southern Hemisphere winter with some focuses on some other federations and things when it comes to other organizations. But be on the watch out. It's not going to be just the nations. We're going to be bringing them all together as well, which I'm really excited about. If you are looking for results, official results will be live as soon as possible over at leadoutesports.com after performance verification. If you want to get your performance verification journey on, head on over to leadoutesports.com. You can attach your height, your devices, as well as your federations directly onto your profile to get ready for what is to come. Dave, we saw some really good racing out here. Dutch Estate, I think Dean did a great job with the course, really organized, and I think it's a good start to what he's trying to do with the UK Esport.
100% agree. You know, it really is taking responsibility for the entire experience. People like Dean are the future, along with yourself, Nathan, but this was a great example of what you can do.
Yeah, it is really great. And Dave, I really appreciate you. Always awesome to have Voice of American Cycling next to us. Dave, you've been doing a podcast I want to make sure everybody knows as well, because I think we, people are really used to us always calling week in and week out. It's gotten a little bit more time in between events. That might change in the near future, but I did see that you started launching. If people want to hear your voice more, and I mean, you always have so much great things to say about cycling in general, and you started, for those that don't know, in real life cycling across all of America, crit racing, road racing, Tour of California, etc. So what do you got going on right now, Dave, with that as we're finishing up here?
I really appreciate that, Nathan. I worked really hard on it, and you inspired me for sure. So I learned how to edit with Adobe Audition, and there's all the skill set that you've always had that I don't even come close to. But getting all of that figured out allowed me to use my voice to talk about American cycling. And so I realized this is the UK broadcast, but we have, like, for example, I have guests like the organizers of Tulsa Tough, or racers like Lauren DiCrescenzo, or varied people from the American cycling scene, whether it's events or racers. Like this week's show, I'm editing right now, Chris Tolley, who's the guy behind the Driveway series, which is an amazing race in Austin, Texas, that they do every Thursday night. So yeah, thanks for allowing me to shine a light on that.
Of course, I think everybody's like, hey, what's going on? Where, what have you been up to? And I think a lot of the viewers have not, seen us as often as they were used to. So if you want to keep up with Dave in between the commentary we provide, it'd be great. Dean is here with us before we take off.
Hey, there he is.
Dean, can you hear us okay?
Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome.
Barely.
How was that out there? It looked like it was full gas from the get-go.
First few laps, I was like, this is going to be okay. And then lap 3 onwards, I was like, yeah, this is not okay.
Well, I mean, you talked about talent identification. Would you call what we saw today talent identification, with the likes of the youngsters kind of taking it to some of you old guys in some ways? No offense, the older guard.
I spoke to you about this. I was looking at all the Zwift IDs, and my Zwift ID is like 3 numbers shorter than everyone else's. So I'm definitely an old guy. But yeah, it was like Elliot. You seen Elliot there? That was like good old fashioned. Like, he just ground us down and then got a gap and just held it. It was good old fashioned racing. But you see guys like Will Loudon in there. Like, he's one of the youngest guys in the race, but he is like proven years ago doing massive things with hub watt bike and stuff. He's and these guys should be known. They should be identified talents. So hopefully this is the start of us being able to do things like that and identify them a bit easier.
Heck yeah. Well, I wanted to, before we go, Dean, just highlight what might be to come, and how people can follow along with what's going on with UK Esport. I did see that you're now writing articles over at Zwift Insider. You did put out an article specifically about what this event was about, if people want to go check that out. All of this kind of tells me that there's a bigger movement you're looking to really be the fire behind, and that people, though, you need people to come around it. You need a community to build this kind of tradition you're looking for. So how can people get involved, Dean?
Yeah, well, big thanks to Chris at Zwift Insider, because he enabled me to have that platform to write that article and put that on there. So that was really, Eric. And that was really beneficial. Yes, that was very beneficial. So big thanks to him for letting me do that. Hopefully that'll lead to me getting to put more articles on there that it gives me a better outlet to kind of explain and put out there what we're doing, because it's quite difficult through the mishmash of like Discords and Facebooks, Twitch, broadcast. There's all these different places that we need to put stuff, but Zwift Insider and what he's built there has a massive following as it is. So it's easy eyes on it. And it just gives us a better outlet to show what we're up to. So yeah, that'd be the best place to keep an eye, if he lets me keep writing there.
And of course, UK Esport has a Discord. If anybody wants to check out the Discord for the follow-up communications and everything, you can head on over to Leadout. It is connected on Leadout. And you can sign up for our newsletter for anything that we're going to be doing with UK Esport. Dean, as well as any more events, obviously, is going to be over there as well. So, all right, well, I'm going to say goodbye to the two of you, as well as everybody else that is out there. Appreciate everybody for joining us. It's been absolutely awesome to have all of you. We saw a ton of you and all of your comments hanging out in the broadcast. It's always awesome to see everybody, as it's a lot of familiar faces, as well as I think a lot of new ones who are starting to get into the racing scene. So really great. UK Esport Cycling UK Esport Championships 2026 is in the books. Results will be over on leadoutesports.com. Thanks everybody for tuning in.